What's going on, guys? It's Stribbers, and welcome back to another episode of PGR2 Road to Platinum. We're on episode 19 this time, and we'll be finishing the Sports Coupe series in this episode with 3 races, 3 street races, and then we'll be doing the next race in the next series we do Unlock. All these races are in Hong Kong, and we're going to be using the TVR Tamora for these races. So, let's get on with it. Hong Kong. First race. Now this race is actually pretty easy, and this is because the other cars are not high up in the class really. We've got the Morgan at the front, but that's not really a match for the TVR on a turny circuit, twisty turny circuit. So we cut on the inside on the first corner, and we're already right behind the Morgan. I'm trying to find a way around the outside, but he closes the door on us, squashes us into the barrier, which slows us down. So we've got 3 laps on this race, but you shouldn't have too many problems. As I've said, once you get past this Morgan, it's pretty plain sailing from there. So we managed to power slide around him just about over this twisty motorway section. And yeah, once you're in the lead, and if you're driving this car well or fairly decently, it shouldn't pose any threat. You should get ahead pretty easily. But I've found out why on some of my episodes I've been doing, there's been a bit of glitching and missing frame rates. And basically, when I was recording my capture card, the destination it was recording to was straight onto an external hard drive via USB. So I think that is why. So the transmission rate or something obviously wasn't good enough. So I've switched it to record an episode at a time to my C drive, and then I'll move it to my external hard drive afterwards, as my C drive isn't the biggest out there. So that means I have actually recorded this episode and the next 2 episodes twice. The races in this episode are the second time I've done these races, because there was just too many glitches in the races when I first did it, and I wasn't really happy releasing that, so I've had to do some editing. So the menus in this this episode and the next couple episodes might be a little bit glitchy when I'm talking through the menus, because I have to keep that footage because I haven't done the platinum medal, so it shows you which races I've not done. Whereas if I went back and recorded that again, it would show the platinum medal, so it would get a bit confusing. So basically what I've done is I've just re-recorded the game footage, the in-race footage, and left the menus how they are. So I've had to merge races. So at the end you'll see, my kudos amount. It might be better than what I previously got, so I might get a couple more kudos, or it might not be, so I won't get any more. But yeah, that's the story with this. But I'm happy with the outcome now, as the gameplay's a lot smoother. But I think it has happened a little bit in previous episodes, but not enough to warrant me re-recording them. But the funny thing is, there's some cone challenges in the next series that I do Unlock that are very difficult. So I was a bit annoyed that I had to do them again, because it probably took me about an hour each one, because they are very difficult. But we'll get to those when we get to those, guys, and we'll just concentrate on an episode at a time. So we are halfway through the second lap, or actually nearly all the way through the second lap, shall I say. And you can see from the minimap how far we are ahead. The Morgan is miles behind, and then the other 2 cars might as well not even be in the race. Like, seriously. Very easy. I probably could have used a different car, to be honest. Maybe I should have chosen a Porsche Carrera or something, given that a go. But you can see 7.4 seconds behind, and I'm not exactly driving as quick as I possibly could. I was easing off a little bit, because I know I was so far in the lead, there's no point driving as quick as you can. So we're on the last lap, so at this point you just got to take in the scenery really, which is pretty cool in Hong Kong, to be fair. They've done a pretty good job. It's quite immersive, and quite interesting tracks as well, not boring. Yeah, so 8 seconds now behind, so we're still increasing the lead, as you can see. See, I'm not doing that corner very well, going wide, hitting the barrier, but do I care? Not really, as long as we get that platinum medal. And I've always liked this corner, and decided to do a little power slide around there, why not? Get a few more kudos. Going under this little bridge here, it's quite cool. And yeah, we've got another 2 street races after this to do. And they actually feature the TVR Tamora. The CPU, or the AI, sorry, have got those. So that's actually going to be more of a challenge, especially the next race. The next race is pretty annoying actually. The AI take corners a lot better. There's a couple corners especially that they take very well, and I've never been able to take them as well. But we'll get into that in the next race. So we've finished this race. Clean section. Didn't get a clean race though, because I'm pretty sure I hit the barrier in that. So as you can see, well, they're all still running, but the previous best was 163 less, so I did get 163. So this is the screen. We did rank up from the first time I did this race, so that's the screen I've shown you there. So we are ranked 38, which is pretty nice. And yep, using TVR again, second street race, Hong Kong again. And 4 cars, but 5 laps. And we've got harder opposition this time. The RS6 is no bother. Once we get past this Trident, that's also not a problem. So taking that corner nicely, overtaking that Audi. And then once we draft behind this Trident, we shouldn't have too many issues. And this is the corner here that you're going to be able to make up most of your ground and make your overtaking manoeuvres actually. There's the AI go quite wide on that corner, which allows more speed on the exit, but you can cut on the inside and block them off, so that's a good strategy. So we are right behind this TVR, but this next corner, I cannot get this corner right, and the AI always do this corner a lot better than me. There's a scrape the wall there. That wasn't too bad, but it's not as good on the next few laps. And I take that a little bit too wide. But we are still in contention, just behind it, getting in his draft zone now. So I'll go for the overtaking move here, which I was describing. So you go on the inside there. Don't get as much speed coming out, as you'll see he'll be catching, but he is behind us, which is the important thing. And this corner is especially hard to take right. This one here, you've really got to go out wide and whip the car in, because it's a very thin sort of opening you've got to aim for. And this corner's not too bad. It's got to be hard on the brakes, but this one, you're supposed to ease off the throttle and just floor it and whip the car in again, but as you can see, he's right behind us, and they take that corner especially well. Getting a few good lines through here, but they also take this corner very well. And now that we're ahead, we can go a bit wider, because we don't need to overtake, so we can try and get some speed coming out. If we look behind us, see he is a little bit further behind now, so there's 2 sort of strategies you go for with that corner, depending on where the car is in relation to you. Oh, I got hung up on the barrier there, wasn't very good, so he's going to try and come on the inside. And he was really determined to overtake us there. Pretty much spinning us out, and he's going for another bite round here. But we just shut off the door, so he's got no choice but to slow down. 4 out of 5 laps, and we're still clinging on, even though I am driving pretty poorly around some of these corners. He's still in contention, still behind us. Taking that wider again, getting some good speed on the way out, using the width there. You can see getting some distance on him now. That's a second, we're ahead. Bit conservative through there. Yeah, he's catching again. Yeah, 0.7. But we're still doing alright. Lap 5 now. 0.3 of a second behind. Still in contention with us. This is such a close race. Having to defend our position through the entire thing. Flipping into this corner, and you can see his bumper appear on the back of our screen. He's still pushing to overtake us. Taking this corner nice and wide though, getting the speed on the way out. Increasing our lead. But we're coming to this more difficult section where he can gain time back. Pushing the car wide there, as you can see, he's still right behind us, 0.3 of a second. Coming to the last couple corners now. And we actually do this corner nicely for once, which means he's not right behind us for the straight at the end. So we do win that one. That was a pretty difficult race though. The AI drive the TVR very well, so you've got to be on top of your game when driving the TVR as well. So we're coming to the last event now in this series, which is another street race in Hong Kong. So we've had a bit of a street race overload. And you just see there, the screen did glitch in the menu, and that's what kept happening during the races, which is why I wasn't really happy and I had to redo them. Even though it is annoying in the menus, it's not too bad. It's not going to affect things quite as much. But we've got an 8-car race, and you can see the Porsche makes its first appearance. And that was pink on the left before we just overtook it then. And we managed to do that section fairly well, colliding with the wall a few times, but we do get through there relatively unscathed. And it's quite important to try and get through that mess as quickly as possible. And I don't know what the Trident was doing there. He went incredibly wide and just let us through. So as I said, you want to get ahead as quickly as possible so you can try and chase this TVR down. And it is going to be a battle of the two TVRs again. And we did that corner very nicely. So we're pretty much in his slipstream now, in his draft stream. But I didn't go wide enough in this corner. So I have to learn to do that next time on the next lap. So he has increased his lead a little bit, but we're still on his tail. And this is the corner that you're going to catch up on. For some reason, the AI don't take that corner very well. But he closes the door on us there. But I'll go for a little overtake on the inside and then block him. So we are ahead now. Just got to defend our position. That is the second lap. We're onto the second lap. And this section can catch you out a lot. You've got to brake. And when it's travelling up that hill, it does not want to turn whatsoever. So you end up just going straight into the barrier. So that's probably the most tricky section, I'd say. You've got to brake before the hill, otherwise you're carrying way too much speed. And then on the crest of the hill, you've got to go really slowly and turn right before, preferably. Because otherwise you just lift off, the front end lifts off when it goes over the crest, and you just go straight into the barrier, which is quite annoying. But we are maintaining our lead, and I don't know what I was doing there. Car went way too far to the right, spun into the barrier. So that allowed him to catch up a little bit. But this is nowhere near as tight as the other race. It's a little bit easier with these wider roads. You don't have to be quite as precise with your driving. So we're still doing alright here. Come over this motorway section again, see if we can increase our lead. Not doing too bad. Coming up to this hairpin again where we overtook him the first time. Still having that nice lead, not too bad at all. Onto the third lap now, 1.2 seconds ahead. And I tried to take that closer this time, so I didn't hit the further barrier, and I took it too close and hit the inside barrier, so not ideal again, but still carrying on. 1.4 seconds ahead, so it's a lot more comfortable than the previous race we had. Taking that section nicely through there, really hugging the apex and then going out wide, so we are building up nice lead now. Not too bad. As I said, it's a lot easier than the previous race, this one. So it's a nice race to end the series on. Of course, it all depends on how quickly you can get ahead of the other cars, because they can slow you up quite a lot. But 2.3 seconds, so we are increasing the lead. Going over this motorway section again, and I think this is where most of the time's gained actually, because he just takes that so slow, that corner. But the hairpin for the final time, keeping that nicely through there, make sure we don't power slide on the way out. And there we are. And that's the Sports Coupe series done. Not the hardest series by any means. There's a couple challenging races in there, but mainly you're going to be doing okay with that. So we did beat our previous best by 136. So we unlock the American Muscle Series, My God, this series is so difficult. This is one of the most difficult series, I'd say. Yeah, these start off by saying that these cars, there's not really any bad cars in this class. You know, they all follow the same theme. They've all got pretty decent acceleration, average top speed, and pretty poor handling. So we'll start off. We've got the Pontiac GTO is one of the starter cars. As you see, looks pretty decent acceleration, very poor handling, average top speed, and we've got the Chevrolet Camaro Z28 as well. And they're pretty similar cars. I think this one handles a little bit better, and the Pontiac's a little bit quicker. But these are the slowest of the group, even though they're still not very slow. And we've got the Pontiac Trans AM, which is a better version, basically. A little bit better handling. And we've got the Ford Mustang Fastback as well, and this is pretty quick. You know, this and the Pontiac are pretty neck and neck, I'd say. A lot quicker than the starter cars you get. But there's still not very good handling. It's just the theme with these American muscle cars. And then we've got the more modern muscle cars, which are probably the second and third best in this group. We've got the Chevrolet Camaro SS and the Mustang SVT Cobra. And the Camaro SS is a little bit slower. Decent top speed though, and handling is better than the Cobras. The Mustang Cobra has got better acceleration, but it does suffer from quite a bit of understeer. But the Corvette Stingray is the best car in this class. It's got the best acceleration, you know, average handling for the class, but pretty decent top speed. But it's got a lot of power sliding, so if you can drive this car well, this is going to win you the platinum medals. But as I said, there's not really that many slow cars in this class. They're all fairly quick. But this Stingray is just the quickest of the bunch. But you'll see, so we've got 2 laps in this street race. So we've had 4 street races this episode, which is why this episode is so long. But we are in third, drafting, trying to catch up this, I think it's the Mustang in first, the Mustang Fastback. And this is a tricky corner, this one. You've really got to brake harshly and cut on the inside. Make sure you don't smash into that barrier. And one thing with the Stingray is you do have to brake way before the corner. If you brake too late, you will be punished pretty harshly because it's got pretty poor brakes as well. As you can see, the Mustang's putting up a good fight, and this isn't, you know, it isn't miles quicker in a straight line either. So second lap now, still right behind this Mustang. We won't catch him up until, so we're right in his draft zone now, so as you can see we will just about get past him, but it's not like lightning quick in comparison. You see we're just edging past him there, and he tries to spin us out there, so I'll give him a taste of his own medicine, and he's still there. He went wide but came in, so he brakes and we cut on the inside, and we managed to just do a nice little overtaking manoeuvre there on him, and we nearly got spun out again but just managed to get ahead. So now we've just got to defend our lead around this last part of the track. And yeah, these races are very difficult. But that's our first platinum medal in the American Muscle Series. Not too bad, that race. That was a little bit difficult, but there's a few very difficult events coming up. Yeah, it was the Fastback. We ranked up, 555,000 kudos now. Ranked 39, and that's going to do it for this episode, guys. So in the next episode we'll be doing another street race, a cone challenge, a hot lap and a one-on-one, and as you can see there's quite a few events in this this series. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.